How to complete a real estate purchase contract. Guys, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the things I wish someone would have taken the time for me to break down really step by step the crucial things that you need inside each real estate purchase contract so that you can move forward and close on your deal. Guys, many of you follow me on this channel because of wholesaling, and I find out that most people don't dare to get involved because of the contract. It scares them to death. So in this video, I'm gonna break it down so you can move forward with confidence. All right, the first thing to cover really is understanding the contract in general. I think so many times we're like, hey, do you have a sample contract? Guys, every state has a contract that typical real estate agents use. And in most cases, that one's gonna be just fine. The only case that it could be different, again, if you're going through this and you're gonna wholesale or assign the contract, then the main thing you wanna make sure is that your standard, what we call REPC, real estate purchase contract, that standard REPC is also assignable. For example, where I live in Utah, a real estate purchase agreement that the real estate agents use in the state of Utah is not assignable. So at that point, I would have to add an addendum to the contract that would allow it to be assignable. So those are the biggest things actually out of the gate that they're not meant to be scary. It's just understanding. And you can do that by just talking to a real estate brokerage or a title company or even a real estate attorney. Just ask them about your purchase contract and ask them if your goal is to ultimately assign it or wholesale the deal, if this contract is assignable. And if not, find out what you need to do to make it assignable. Again, regarding to wholesaling, I think so many times we're so afraid to go through the contract in depth. We're always looking at it thinking, well, what do we say? And are they gonna be okay that I'm wholesaling? Are they okay that I may not be the one that's purchasing the contract? Yes, and if they're not, it's better to address it right now. So don't hesitate. As you're going through any real estate purchase contract with a homeowner, with a seller, one that's been approved by a real estate attorney so you get that confidence to move forward, it's okay. Now is the time to address any concerns. We talking about addressing the elephant, right? And making sure that you get all the concerns satisfied right now. Don't let it go to the closing table and then they find out and then they back out of the whole deal. Now's the time to find out. So go through each case on each point on the actual real estate purchase contract. And if they have any questions, sit there and address them. It's okay. And as you do that, you'll realize more of your deals are gonna go to the closing versus having to cancel because a surprise came up. Guys, another one of the big fears I hear about it, because most of the individuals that are following me on my channel and subscribe to this know that I'm big into wholesaling, and so they are also looking to wholesale. And some of the big fears that they have is, well, in this contract, how do I explain to people, like, am I the one buying it or I'm not the one buying it? Like, I'm afraid, what does that conversation sound like? So let's address that right now, an easy way to overcome that. The biggest thing is you don't need to break it down any deeper than what I'm about to say right now. And that is, hey, yeah, I might be purchasing this or teaming up with one of my partners. And that end up could be a cash buyer. It could be a real estate agent. It could be that you are teaming up with another business partner because you're keeping it as a rental. You just don't know. But just keep it simple. You don't need to go in depth. You don't need to start breaking it down. In fact, let me share you a little story that I always share with students that I talk to that gives them like a better analogy. I'm a huge Disney fan. In fact, you might catch me in like a Disney shirt as I do some of these videos. And really what it is think of you going to Disneyland. You're paying a bunch of money to get out there. You're standing in line what could be an hour, could be 2 hours, it could be 5 hours during coronavirus. We don't know, right? But you're out there and you're standing in line. You finally get to the beginning of the ride, and instead of the cast member just pushing the green button after he says, hey, keep your arms, hands, and feet in at all times and have a great trip, and push the green button, what if he took it upon himself to be like, hey, before I push that green button, not only is it just safety to keep your arms, hands, and feet in at all time, but because you're on Space Mountain, let me tell you a little bit about this. Walt Disney was really inspired when he put this together, thinking about the future, like what would it look like to travel into space? And you're gonna be going up this ramp and you're gonna feel like you're going 40 miles an hour. It's a lie, you're only going 12. And when you get to the top, you think you're gonna go right, but actually you're gonna go left. Guys, you would be at this point, if you were in that line, you'd be like, hey Homer, just push the button. Just push the green button. I don't care, just let me enjoy the ride, right? Same thing. Too many times we start to overthink this and we think they need to hear everything. Well, I could be buying it, I may not be buying it. I could be doing what's called wholesaling. Wholesaling is really just the art of finding a deep discount property. And then what I'm going to do is find cash buyers. And these cash buyers may be interested in it. They may buy it, they may not. And I may have to come back and cancel it. Meanwhile, they're like, holy smokes, red flag. What are you even talking about? Just keep it simple. I might be buying it, or I could be teaming up with one of my partners. Hey guys, why I've got you here right now, before I move on and share the other couple points here with the real estate purchase contract, I want you to hit that subscribe button. Also hit the bell so it alerts you when fresh new content is available for you. Now let's break down the last points of these contracts. All right, another big sticking point for wholesalers is they're like, whoa, you're telling me there could be like 5 cash buyers or 10 cash buyers interested in this property and they're gonna have to come out and inspect it? How the heck am I gonna explain that to the seller? That scares the crud out of me. Guys, I hear this all the time. It's because, going back to that Disney analogy, they're thinking they have to break this down so granular and explain everything, where really, all you gotta do is simple as, instead of saying, hey, I'm gonna potentially have 42 cash buyers out here, and they're cash buyers because they're interested in the property, and they, not all of them want it, but they're gonna come look at it and see if they want it. Like, red flag, just push the green button, right? So how do we keep it simple? We keep it simple by just addressing the elephant and let them know, hey, what we need to do now, and have it authoritative. Don't be like, hey, are you okay if people come out here and inspect the property? No, red flag, no, they won't do business with you. Authoritative. You got to be, hey, Wednesday we're looking to inspect the property. It's going to be myself, someone from my team, and also a small army. Really, it's going to be like contractors, inspector, and just do any final looks and do things that I might have missed. And that's going to be Wednesday at 5 o'clock. And you're going to find out they're going to be like, oh, okay. Why? Because every traditional real estate transaction also has an inspection period, also known as a due diligence period. So that's already standard in their mind. The only reason it sounds weird is if you start to talk too much and go deeper than you need to versus just keeping it surface. Hey, me and a small army are going to be going through here to do our final inspection so that we're prepared to move forward and just get this going as smooth as possible. We'll see you Wednesday at 5 o'clock. Now, another way to do that is just simply give them a gift card to go out to dinner or go out to lunch during that inspection. That's another thing. Sometimes they don't want to be here. Hey, if you trust me, I'll also give you a $50 gift card so you and your husband can go out to dinner tonight on me while I just host the inspection here. If you feel more comfortable being here, that's okay too. And sometimes it'll be like $50, free dinner, like let's roll, let's go, free date night, right? That's another way to get around it. All right, the last thing, guys, is just any questions they have. It's so simple to just make it part of the contract so that it gives them the ease of mind to do business with you, to give them the confidence to move forward. So don't be afraid to add any of the concerns, questions to the contract through what's called an addendum. Now, the addendum can be your absolute best friend. That's where you just tack on some of the normal things you've already talked about in the contract, but sometimes when you reinstate it and write it in writing, it's almost like a new way of them hearing it, and they're like, oh wow, you're gonna pay for our closing cost? Oh wow, you're gonna buy this as is? You're gonna close in 7 days? Even though it says it in the original contract, when you reinstate it and write it in the addendum, it ends up being your best friend, and people are like, I love this, I've gotta move forward. And guys, while you're here, I want you to check out this other video where I go in depth about the addendum and how to really use it and how it's gonna be your absolute best friend, and not just the normal things, but what are some of these additional things that we add to every contract. Every one of our purchase contracts has an addendum. We love it, we use it religiously, and you can learn what we put in each one of those addendums.